Hello, and welcome to Manifestus Cavern. This video is optionally interactive, as there are riddles found throughout the story. Whenever you see the spinning torch icon on the bottom right, you have 5 seconds to pause the video and see if you can guess the answer for yourself. If you are not interested in solving the riddles, that is fine. We will carry on. Enjoy the show. Our story begins in a pathetically drawn house. It is so cliché. I mean, even a smiling sun? Who drew this? A 12-year-old? Oh wait, it was our plucky little hero. This is James, but everyone here calls him Jam, because he is an obsession with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches since forever. Jam is 12 years old, and he wants to become the next big action-adventure graphic novel maker guy. If only he could draw, which he can't. It doesn't help that he has no inspiration either. What kind of adventure begins in a plain old house with a smiling sun? Looking for inspiration in a way that is definitely not a completely contrived plot point, he spots his grandfather's old travel journal. Turns out he was quite the adventurer, with tales split among 12 chapters. In many of his tales, he mentions a fabled cave, where passing 5 trials with your quick wit would be rewarded with riches in abundance. Now, Jam isn't all that smart, but Mother does always call him too hasty. Maybe that's good enough. Maybe he can be heroic too, just like his grandfather. And then maybe, just maybe, he'll get the inspiration he needs. He decides to pack his trusty yellow backpack with an old box of matches, Father's toolbox, and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in his Professor Splotch, all rights reserved, lunchbox. Although it kind of looks like the items flew in on their own. Spooky. Let us keep Grandfather's journal outside the bag, shall we? One quick map search later, Jam finds himself standing before the fabled cave, but the entrance is blocked by poorly drawn rubble. There must be a way through.
Manifestus time! Trial 1.
Out of all the items Jam has brought with him, which should he open first?
Our answer is Jam's backpack.
Naturally, Jam would have to open his backpack if he wanted to use anything within it. Obviously impressed by Jam's sheer power of deduction, the boulders blocking his path fade away, revealing a long, poorly lit tunnel. Jam lights a torch with a match, so that he doesn't stumble on a rock while running away from a ghost or something. Not that he believes in ghosts or anything. They don't exist, nor do ghouls or demons or angry catlords from the Cularian dynasty. Nor do talking owls, nor goblins, and certainly not mummies. Oh, wait. Jam should have paid more attention in history class. Obviously very deeply lost in thought, Jam suddenly realizes the tunnel's come to an end. By some weird coincidence, a mummy stands at the far end of the room, a real mummy, so they do exist. Realizing there's a visitor, the mummy greets Jam. The poor boy must be terrified. There's no time for fear, however, as the mummy launches a riddle.
Manifestus time! Trial 2.
What would a mummy be if it firmly believes catlords from the Cularian dynasty are real, despite all scientific studies pointing to them being false?
Our answer is the mummy would be in denial.
That wasn't really a riddle, was it? More like a pun. A terrible, terrible pun. So terrible, in fact, that it worked. Onwards? Oh, come now, Jam. I'm sure not all these riddles are that bad. And hey, at least we definitely know that catlords from the Cularian dynasty don't exist. It's really not getting any easier to pronounce Cularian. Finally, Jam comes to a room with other non-mummy people in it. And a duck?
That's Mr. Duck to you, silly narrator. You think an omniscient narrator would at least know my name? Sheesh. Hey, you're figuring out these riddles, right? Mind if I tag along? I can't figure this one out, and I've been here forever.
Seeing no reason why not, Jam decides to see if he can solve the riddle. At the end of the room stand two very, very, very old men. One has a majestic beard, and the other one has cool sideburns. He should probably invest in the beard trend. Now that Jam has their attention, they both suddenly shout, "Choose my door." We have to choose? Excellent.
It's not that simple. One of these two is a liar, and if you choose the liar's door, you're Toast. Toast.
I was getting to that. Now, Jam can figure out who the liar is, but he only gets one question, directed at one of the two elderly men. So, the question is...
Manifestus time, trial 3.
What question should Jam ask?
Our answer is, ask the beardless man if he has a beard. But many other questions would work too.
Mr. Sideburns has no choice but to say yes, which makes him a liar. I did tell him he should have gotten a beard. Jam's been doing quite well. To think that he managed to solve a puzzle that not even a duck could figure out.
Listen, pal, I don't know what you're insinuating, but I'm not just a duck. I'm a talking duck. You have no idea what my IQ is. Hey, wait up.
Bird brain.
I heard that.
Jam and his dubious sidekick have arrived at the third chamber. If they can overcome this trial, only one remains.
Hey, what's the big idea? There's nothing in here.
The emptiness of the room reminds Jam of something, however. Something that Grandfather wrote. Ah, yes. He did mention something about an empty room, didn't he? In the final chapter, Grandfather says there's a text on the far wall written in Kularian. Kularian cat lords again? Really? It seems Grandfather translated the Kularian text there, and it's a riddle. Who would have guessed?
So, what's the riddle?
I was getting to that. It reads, "In your receptacle of implements lie the keys to proceed. If you wish to head further in, you'll have to twist this sticky situation around and seize victory."
I don't get it. That's hardly even grammar.
Well, receptacle of implements probably refers to a box of utensils or tools. Or, well, Father's toolbox. A slot open. We must be on the right track.
Manifestus time, trial 4.
Figure out the order for 4 items.
Our answer is hammer, screwdriver, tape, and pliers.
These are getting tricky.
We're almost done, though. Let's go. We're actually going to make it to the riches in abundance. This is exciting.
Jam can't help but feel a little excited as well. Who would have thought he'd get this far? That duck, though, he had no chance of getting through whatsoever. He should have been called Mr. Dumb, in my opinion. Jam has finally made it to the final trial. Solve this correctly, and the riches in abundance are his.
Mine too.
Silence, you irrelevant imbecile. The old man acknowledges Jam's presence.
You have done well,
He says,
and now you must have the fortitude of heart to answer this final question. The answer will not be found within that book. Now, are you ready?
The old man asks a short and simple question.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's sort of why Jam's here, isn't it? For his future. Well, there's no time to waste.
Manifestus time. Final trial.
Where does Jam see himself in 5 years?
Our answer is...
Oh, that's easy. Come on. Even I know the answer this time. In 5 years, he'll see himself in a mirror.
Something tells me it wasn't meant to be a riddle this time. The old man seems to have taken aback, though.
I have no choice but to let you through with an answer like that.
He says.
Ah, hold on a sec. See? I have a bit of confession to make first. My name isn't Mr. Duck. It's actually Dr. Duck. And you see, being that I'm a villain extraordinaire, I'm obviously going to keep all of the riches and abundance to myself. See you later, loser.
What does Jam do? What can Jam do? Grandfather said nothing about anything like this. An envelope. What could it contain? Chapter 12.5 Never Trust a Duck. The chapter reads as follows. This chapter will be devoted to my long-time bitter rival, the dastardly deceitful Dr. Duck. Fed jelly at a young age, this duck somehow gained the ability of free thought, and with this, the power of speech. With these amazing new powers, however, came a crippling weakness. If he were to ever come close to Jelly again, he would revert. Dr. Duck devised a cunning plan to prevent this. A moon-mounted laser pointed at Earth with the goal of eradicating all jelly from the planet. The only problem is, a moon-mounted jelly-destroying laser would cost a lot of money, and nobody would ever hire a duck. How else would he get the money then? From treasure, of course. So, if you do value Jelly's existence, I implore you, do not let that duck get his way, or else someday, maybe you'll be stuck without beloved peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. The end of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Not if Jam has anything to say about it.
I've finally done it. I've hit the big time. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich? My only weakness? Curse you, Jam!
Soon after leaving Manifestus Cavern, Jam realized he had the inspiration he wanted all along, his grandfather's adventures. Of course, this doesn't change that Jam's drawing range from stickmen to smiling suns. But you know what? That skill will come with practice.
Finally, you'll pay for this, Jam. Oh, you'll pay.